we'd done a demo. Uh, Pretty much as soon as Glenn got in the band, we did a 3-song demo of Chalice of Blood, Forbidden Evil, and March in a Fire, and that got passed around. And it got I gave a copy to Ron Quintana. Ron Quintana played it on his KUSF metal show. Ron's the guy who named Metallica, famously.
Yeah.
Uh, Big. He's really the guy who brought Merciful Fate to the Bay Area, or he actually visited Fate first in Denmark. So there's this whole
Oh,
story of
wow.
him. So he played it, and then people heard it, and then in the meantime, I was reaching out to Debbie Abano, who managed Possess, and she had never managed another band. And she's like, I don't think I really want to manage bands anymore, but we convinced her to come see us, and then she agreed to manage the band. So, but that she didn't agree. First she saw us, right? Yeah, first she saw us, and then the demo got played, and then Davey Vane, who was the band called Vane out here, said he discovered us because he heard us on the radio. It's like, dude, you heard, but he called Debbie. He's like,
Wow.
you got to really work with this band. So this whole thing just kind of bottlenecked into us working with Debbie. And then a year later, because she kind of kept it slow, she wanted the flow to be slow with us, as you could tell with the Rick Rubin story. Uh, she didn't want us to get big too fast. So a year later, we ended up signing to Combat after them and another 5 other Roadrunner, Metal Blade, Capital, somebody else. There's all the ones who were trying to do thrash metal at the time. They all kind of reached out to us and were a bit interested, but Combat offered the most money, and us young kids, that seemed like the best thing at the time.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you were like, were you weren't even like 20 yet,
No,
right?
no, no. I was
Yeah.
18 when we went in the studio to record Forbidden Evil. I turned 19 in the studio.
Wow.
I
Jesus
was the youngest
Christ.
guy in the band.
Wow.
And I got thrust into the leadership position as soon as Rob had quit to join Violence a couple of years earlier.
Yeah.
So, it's a weird spot to be in, dude. And if you would have known me back then, you know, it, people that have known me a long time have watched me kind of grow up as a human being. But like back then, my head was all over the place. I didn't, I really didn't know how to lead, but I was always the catalyst. So it caused a lot of like friction and resentments. And I learned a lot through my mistakes. That's one good thing about getting it all done early. You learn from your fuck ups, and you learn how to keep yourself grounded and all that good stuff.
It must have all been moving so fast too, you know.
It didn't seem like it. It never does when you're young. But looking back in retrospect, it all happens in a blink of an eye. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
It really
blink, you
does.
turn, it's gone. It's like it all happened so fast. And I've managed to keep myself um not jaded. I don't ever, like a lot of my peers get super pissed off. A lot of my peers are really fearful of doing other kinds of music because they didn't want to get, you know, shunned by the thrash metal community. I've avoided that. I've done whatever I wanted. Maybe there's a few like man, 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 but for the most part, if you're writing great stuff, people aren't going to come around saying you're writing shit. So I just write music, and right now, thrash is my focus. I feel like the state of the world is perfect for this. It's the climate, literally, everything about the climate and the climate of the planet is the perfect timing for Forbidden. So to me, it's like it's just all lining up the way it's supposed to be at this point. All the influences of my past, all the rock stuff and other kinds of music I played, it's all going to kind of boil into this new record, which I feel like is going to be a cross somewhere between Twisted in the Form and Omega Wave. To me, I just feel like that's the kind of material I want to fucking put together for this.
Extremely exciting, man. And I feel like that makes the best musicians. You know, like you can obviously have a focus, but pull from as many and listen to as many other genres. You know, I feel like that definitely broadens the mind as a musician. Now, in terms of Combat and that debut record, how do they treat you in terms of like studio time and a budget for that album?
Uh, it was quick. I mean, there's a story. It was like 30. I think we got $30,000 to do the record, which at that time was pretty standard. And studio was like $1,000 a day, so you're blowing through money really quick. The drums took a few days longer. Paul was super particular about himself, and he wanted it. Paul was always phenomenal, but he was a lot of what people don't know is a lot of his drum fills are improvised in the studio. So if he didn't like one of his improvised fills, it would just like you know, and there was no fixing, you know, like not really fixing in those days
Mm.
at all. So a lot of that it just took a while. So we blew through extra time and we came right up against it, and we barely got it done at the finish line with all kinds of drama between it. But and we didn't. And when it was done, me personally, I was not like, oh fuck, this album's gonna fucking rock the world. I didn't know. I was like, I'm not, you know, because I wasn't there when they did vocals because they didn't pick me up that day. Long story. Don't want to get into it, but I
Yeah.
hated the vocals as soon as I heard them. I was like, "What the fuck?" And you know,
Wow.
I got used to them, but I'm like, this could have been so much better. Twisted a turn and this word. Why did you change those words there? And nobody checked you on this. Like, you know, I was so bummed. So it took me a while, but I remember they were talking about giving us really small ads, quarter pages, and then the album cover was done, and that blew everyone's mind. And then the fucking reviews started coming back from the you know, press, and those were so good that the label's like, "Huh, change your mind. You're going full page back cover every bag." So we had the full page back cover of everything, like
Like
Rip.
Kerrang.
Yeah, well, Kerrang, I'm not sure. That's you could be Europe. I think
Oh,
those were half page ads. But in the U.S., like every major Hit Paraders, Circus, Metal Maniacs, you know, like all of them, we were as soon as you picked it up, there's Forbidden Evil cover. So it was the music and it was the art and the timing, and you know we were on our way. You know, we then when Twisted in a Form came out, it got even better for us. You know, same kind of budget, might add 5,000 more dollars. You know, same kind of thing, just getting it done by the time with skinnier teeth. I think that's the way a lot of great records were made back then. You know, keeps it edgy.